Hello everyone and welcome to this beautiful sunny day, the perfect day to take the Royal Enfield Meteor 350 out for a ride. Before I show you a few new things on my Meteor, I will just show you where we are at the moment. One of my favorite areas in Berlin. Of course, I don't mean this big parking place here, but I will show you in a second. Here you can find a lot of motorcycle driving schools. In front of me, that's the Olympic Stadium of Berlin. Always a good meeting point if you want to meet some friends with their bikes. Yeah, here it is. The main entrance of the Berliner Olympic Stadium. In my last video, I introduced you to my new scooter, the Lambretta G350. And I'm planning a lot of things with this new scooter. Of course, some modifications. And I will do a long road trip in a few weeks. But before that, I have to ride the first 1,000 kilometers to do the first service. But so far I'm very happy with the scooter. Of course, something completely different than the Meteor. Perfect for city rides. Very lightweight, 170 kilos. This one here is 198 kilograms. So nearly 30 kilograms more. And both are classic bikes, or classic scooter and classic bike. The Lambretta in the design of the 60s, an homage to the old Lambrettas. Yeah, and the Meteor 350 looks like an old motorcycle from the 60s. And I'm still very happy with this bike. This will be the first bike that I keep for more than 1 year. If you follow my channel, then you know that I change my bikes quite often because I like it to test new bikes. And it always takes a while until you find the one motorcycle that's your favorite. And even the Meteor 350 isn't a perfect motorcycle, of course not. For me, it's a perfect combination of this classic look, good riding comfort, style, relaxed ride. Of course, not fast. It's more a very slow cruiser, but such a great fun to ride this bike. It's always like this. Always when I'm taking my Royal Enfield for a ride, I'm really happy, I'm relaxed. So maybe everyone who has a Meteor 350 knows what I'm talking about. And even the classic 350, which I owned a few years ago, was the more classic looking bike and in my opinion a little bit more beautiful, especially the bronze one that I had. But this one is much better when it comes to riding the bike, for me as a tall rider, because the seating position is so relaxed. This is real cruising. The handlebar is in a perfect position, the seat is in a perfect position, the legs, everything fits perfect to my body, and that's why I love riding this bike so much. So now I will try to find a place because I want to show you a few modifications that I did on my Meteor. Not a lot, but a few. So here it is, the new look of my Royal Enfield Meteor 350. A few things changed. The first, of course, you see it immediately. I got back to the spoked wheels with the chrome rims. I think at the end it looks much better on the bike. I had the aluminium rims before. They are okay too, but I think they are a little bit more on the practical side. if you are going for touring and you want tubeless tires. But the spoked wheels, all in all, they look better on this bike, in my opinion. What do you think? So, and this is the first change that I did on the Meteor for the springtime, and I did it by myself. The front was very easy to change, the back a little bit more difficult. I had a friend helping me because I had to lean the bike to the side to get the tire out, and then I had to change the sprocket at the back. So this was a little bit fiddly with getting everything back in again with the brakes, but it worked out. Second thing is I took off the luggage rack, which was here on the back for the top box, and I went back to the leather panniers from Hepco and Becker. I had the GV weightless side panniers before. The whole system of GV was very good when it comes to stability and ease of use, but the look, I think, of this one is much better. It fits better to the classic design now. So I went back from this more modern look with the modern panniers and the aluminium rims to the classic look again with leather panniers with spoked wheels. And there are a few small details that I can show you which also changed. So first thing is here at the front. There it is. A new horn. It doesn't look that super beautiful. Of course, the original chrome one looks better, but this horn here is much louder. So I can test it for a second so that you can hear it. Wow. So all the cars will hear you now. So this is much better for safety reasons. And I think it looks okay with the black frame, the black horn. Absolutely no problem. And down there, a new bash plate. I changed the silver one to the black one because I think it looks a little bit better on the Meteor, because the silver was a silver that you don't find anywhere on the motorcycle. So it was a part that doesn't fit that good, but now with the black bash plate, I think much better. Looks very good. Yeah, and that's it. I think that's all that's new. I think you already know these mirrors. I think you can find them also on Amazon. I will put a link down in the video description. They look very good on the Meteor. They have no vibrations. Yeah, and everything else is the same. The small rack on the tank, still there. Yeah, and these are the Hepco and Becker side panniers. Yeah, and they give the bike a much cleaner, classic look. Fits perfect to the Meteor. Yeah, so all in all, I went back to the classic style. Also from the back, with the backrest here in the middle. I think it fits quite good. So what do you think? I'm getting closer to the original look because the Aurora model comes with the spoked wheels. And I think it fits from the design much better to this classic looking cruiser. And why did I get back to the side panniers? Because I'm not planning a long road trip with the Meteor this year. I'm doing a lot of weekend trips, of course, but no longer road trip. The first long road trip will be with my Lambretta, so with the scooter, because I will try, if it's possible, to do a long distance ride with a small capacity scooter and a small size scooter with the retro scooter. And the second news for this year, there will be a new bike. I will keep my Royal Enfield, but I sold the CF Moto 450 MT, and I will buy something a little bit different this year. It's already ordered, but I'm just waiting for it to arrive. And this will be my motorcycle or scooter or whatever for my second road trip this year, which will be in August, September. But I will, of course, show you what it is in one of my next videos. So this year, 2 long road trips. First with my Lambretta and the second one with my new touring bike. And of course, I will do some short road trips with my Meteor too. So a lot of things are happening this year. I'm quite curious to see how the Lambretta handles on a long distance ride. Something completely different, but I think it should be okay because I did a lot of road trips with my Vespa GTS 2. Of course, it's different. You don't have that much space for luggage, but the feeling you have with a small scooter is absolutely amazing. And I will ride south, and I think this fits very good to the Lambretta scooter. So these are the news for today. A few modifications on my Meteor 350. I think it looks absolutely amazing now with the spoked wheels. Everything fits together, more the classic style again. And yeah, I'm looking forward for the road trip on the Lambretta, and I'm waiting for my new touring bike for the end of the season. So this year will be very interesting. And now I will hop on the Meteor and go for a ride. I hope you have a nice season start too. And if you're riding, ride safe. I see you in the next one. Take care, ride safe, and cheers.